Welcome everyone to what was a holiday break from Rank to Ruby training, but I'm so excited to be back. We have decided to record the trainings and post them for your viewing at your convenience. And I am so excited to be able to present Amy Schroeder to you. Amy joined me in Plexus about, 3 years?
Almost 3 years ago.
Almost 3 years ago now. And she's just been a consistent, wonderful team member, one that won't give up, one that pours into people, and one that has an incredible belief not only in our products, but the business model as well. So I'm excited to turn it over to Amy, and she is going to train you this morning, or whenever you're watching it. We're recording in the morning, but you may watch it this evening. Here you go, Amy.
All right. Hey guys, my name is Amy Schroeder. I am in Dallas. I am one of Rainey's level ones. I am a mom of 4. I have a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, 2 boys, and then I have twin girls that are 5. So I honestly tell you that I work this business in the nooks and crannies of my life, in carpool and soccer practice and football, just whatever. So when Rainey asked me if I would help with the training, I was trying to think of something that would be helpful. And for me, this was kind of a good way to start the new year and focusing on just 5 best practices that I have continuously done in my business and will continue to do in my business as it continues to grow. So I'm hoping that some of this will be new for you or give you guys a better idea. I'm trying to make sure I've got a good angle here. The first thing I want to talk about is Facebook. When I first started with Rainey's team, I had created a business page, Plexus by Amy, and I had that, and then I have my personal page. And over the last year or so, I've continued to update my business page. And the one reason for that is it's an audience of people that I can reach that might not be in my immediate circle of friends. And the way that happens is if you have a business page, you're able to boost your posts and you're able to share it with an audience for as little as $3 for a day. But what that does is it puts it in people's algorithms of your friends on Facebook. And so I would say 90% of that page are people who I have never met in my life. But I look at it as a way to get information to them about Plexus. Another benefit that I've seen is that you can see statistics from that page. You can see who clicked on it, who watched a video, who engaged on the post. And then if I see that it's a post that people are engaging, I can share it onto my personal page. And then I can go back and look at the numbers then. And then I can see people like pictures. They don't like a lot of text. They like short posts with a bunch of hashtags. Those kind of things. But the biggest thing for me was to engage an audience outside of my current audience. You still have the messenger aspect. So that way I'm just not bringing people I don't know into my personal life per se right away. But then on the Facebook side, on the personal side, another thing that I've been utilizing quite a bit, because we are so unsure of the algorithms of Facebook and who sees our posts and who doesn't see our posts, is to select individuals to see certain posts. So when you're in Facebook, you can select if it's a public post or to your friends, and you can also select to these people. So say it's a post about a teacher who is retiring from teaching because of Plexus. Then I create that post and I tag only my teacher friends because I know it's going to show up in their news feed. Or if we have a promotion and it's buying a welcome kit and I have 4 or 5 people who have been interested in joining but just were waiting for the right time, then I tag those 4 people in a post. And then I know in my mind that they're going to see that in their news feed. And I know that that's worked at times because in those select posts, if it's the wholesale kit or free shipping, and I tag the people or post it to their walls, they'll either like it or comment back to me like, I haven't forgotten about you. It's more target marketing, I guess is the best way to say it. So those are kind of the 2 ways that I've utilized Facebook in growing my business. My second best practice is following up. And from the beginning of time with Rainey and Plexus, the truth is that fortune is in the follow-up. And I know that we think a lot of the times that we're boring people or that we're bothering people or that they're not paying attention. But I will tell you, in this past 6 months, I've had 2 people join my team who literally I have followed up with once a month for almost 2 years. 2 years I have every month sent them a message like, just thinking about you, let me know what you're thinking, or if we have a promotion, like here's free shipping or here's 10% off, and I send it through Facebook messaging so I know that they see it. None of these people ever said no, and none of these people ever said yes. And it wasn't until almost 2 years later, they're like, okay, I'm ready. What do I do? What can I help? How can you help me? So I can't emphasize enough the following up and keeping it simple. Because I think with me, and a lot of times, like I talk through things with Rainey and that I overthink the process, and it just needs to be simple. And something that I've done, like when I'm sitting in carpool line, is that I say, I'm playing carpool catch up and you're on my mind. Have you had a chance to try your pink drink? Have you thought any more about the probiotic? You want to try a shake? I mean, just so simple. And I think a lot of times we make it harder on us and think that we have to elaborate on what follow-up means. And then sometimes my follow-up is not Plexus related at all. If I see something that they've posted, or I've received an email, or I've seen them at school or at church, it's just a simple message like, hey, I was thinking about you. And that way it also shows that you're really a human being and that you're not just all about the business all the time. So when you follow up, you're following up both for personal first and then your business second. And then the other thing, just a simple message, sometimes if someone has had a sample or has even started the product, is just simply like, I can't wait to hear what you think. And I just leave it at that. And most of the time they'll come back and say, I appreciate the follow-up. Thank you for reaching out. And even with the beginning of the year, reaching out to all my level ones, I know the majority of them right now are personal use ambassadors. But even then, like, I'm here to help you. Let me know if you're ready to share or if you're ready to get a paycheck. I'm here for you. And most of them came back and said, I appreciate it. Let's talk soon, or, I'm still happy just using the product. But unless we ask or reach out, we're not going to know. And then also with the follow-up is I've started following up with preferred customers who turned off their auto ship. And I've probably had a few people who will give me a heads up, like, I'm going to turn off my shipping because I've stockpiled my product. But for me, the majority of the time, I don't hear anything. And it's not until I'm looking in my back office and I see that they canceled their auto ship before their next shipment. And for a while, I would take it personally. Like, well, I wonder why they didn't tell me. Did something bad happen? Did I not follow up enough? Which I know isn't usually the case. So what I've started doing is sending them a handwritten note. I appreciate you as a Plexus customer. If you decide to come back, I'd be happy to help you get started. And I've done the follow-up note, handwritten notes, and then I've also sent messages. And the majority of the time they come back and say, I had to stop because I got behind on my drink and I was getting too much of it. Or I was doing the, the accelerator and I started to get shaky. And so then that opens up a dialogue of, I wish you would have let me know, there's ways that would work around this. Do you have food in your stomach? Have you been drinking enough water? But in my mind, then I'm kind of closing the door, but I'm also reopening it, that I'm paying attention to my business and that I know that that was somebody I was counting on as a preferred customer. But to know that I still want them and I'm still here to help them. And I know that things get crazy. And there was one who canceled, but didn't realize that she could have paused, like just skipped a month. And that's also something now in my follow-up with my preferred customers before their next shipment ships, like your date's coming up, on January 20th. If you're behind or you need to pause it, we can pause it for a month or push your date. And it's all in communication, but instead of just letting them fall off and be done, then I'm trying to engage them back into my business. Okay, my third best practice is self-promotion. I know we talk a lot about and have been on calls about wearing Plexus shirts or Plexus hats. But for me, I was trying to find other ways to share my belief and my passion of Plexus and my desire to get people included. So I looked for other ways that I could let people know about Plexus. And one thing I did, and I don't know if you can see this, is that this is our school directory. And in every school directory or church directory, usually school, it'll have like your work information. And I've added Plexus Worldwide, but still my cell phone number. So I don't know about you guys, but when you get directories, you're looking at your kids' classes, and then you're looking at like where people live and how far they live from you. And you're looking through, and like that's legit. Like it's not just like a little hobby of mine. Like it's in print. It's in a school directory of, 1,200 families, kindergarten through 8th grade. And I had a call a couple of weeks ago, and they were trying to call my husband, and they called my cell phone instead. And while I was on the phone with her, she's like, well, tell me what Plexus Worldwide is. And so we start talking about it, and she's like, I've not heard of it. And she then talked about, well, do you have any kind of a protein shake or a meal replacement? I'm trying to have something for my kids. And it just opened up total random, and I don't even know why I picked up the phone, because I don't recognize the number, but then it was a local number, and I wonder if it was something from one of my kids. But it opened it up. Had that not been there, the conversation would have been different. It would have been, oh, let me call your husband's cell phone. She would have had no idea what I was doing. So I look at that as self-promotion. I also think about if I'm going to be at a meeting at school or in the evening or at a basketball game, and I wait and I mix my pink drink there. Because if I pull out my bottle of water and my packet, at least one person's going to be watching what you're doing. And if they don't know what you're already involved with, they're going to ask what that is. And then when they see my kids drink it, because they always take my drink, they're going to wonder, well, what is it that her kids are drinking? And why don't I know about this? I've also, if I'm out to lunch with girlfriends, we'll take block there at the table before we eat, because inevitably someone's going to ask what it is, or do you want to try this? This is what this does. Or I wouldn't eat this if I didn't have this. And then the other things to look at are like church newsletters or neighborhood newsletters. We have a mom's group at church, and they offer 9 months of advertising, like a business card size advertisement for, I think it was like $25. So it's a business expense. But to have my business card that shows up in a newsletter every month, it's just repetition and it's consistency. So those are just a few little tips on self-promotion. My fourth best practice are income-producing activities. And I know that we all, and I say this because I know I do, get sucked into Facebook and just scrolling and just looking at what everybody else is doing, and then time goes by and there was absolutely zero thing I did to promote my business. So what I've tried to do is find leaders within our company, and I go to their Facebook pages and I look at their posts. And I find some of their posts that might be inspiring to me that I think would be inspiring to my circle of friends. And then what I do is I will copy those posts on my phone, and I'll paste them in my notes section on my phone. And then now I've got this file, I guess, of posts. Because there's some days I wake up, I'm like, what am I going to talk about? I feel like I've talked about everything I need to talk about, and why aren't people on board? But then if I read a post, I'm like, well, that totally makes sense. And there's some really cute hashtags, and I'm going to take it. And we've gotten past the point of saying, do you mind if I share this? Because we know that if whatever's on Facebook, take it and share it. So I'm always a proponent of following, and I always read Rainey, Jen's, Creday's, Heather's, and Lauren's posts. And I know with us being in this group, we all read those posts. And so we don't all want to repeat everybody's posts constantly. So 3 people that I have recently started following their posts, or if I just need an inspiration, 3 of my favorites right now have been Sarah Marble, Erin Zimmerman, and Laura Clow. And the reason I say those 3 is when I read their posts, something in them sparks something in me. And it makes me be like, huh, that's right. Or I like the way they said that, or that was simple and I can get it. So I'll save those. But then I look outside of Plexus And one of my favorites is Eric Worre. And I know that we've probably all read his book. But do you know that you can sign up for a daily email from him? And the email that he sends, it includes a link. And then last year, it was like a video a week. And it literally is like 4 or 5 minutes, which is a great use of income producing activity. But he always gives some pointers. And the subject of the email typically is something that has been heavy on my heart. You know, like, do you think people aren't watching? Are you getting bored with the paycheck you're receiving? Are you, not growing as fast? Well, starting January 1st, he's launched. If you sign up for his email, you get a video a day. And they literally are less than 5 minutes. And it's a focused topic of the network marketing business. It costs nothing. It just costs the time to watch these videos. And you can see the links. And if you don't have it, contact me and I'll forward you the email, and then you can join that way. There's no commitment. But every day it's either going to be from him, it's going to be from another person in the industry, or just tips on how to do the business that we're doing. And he said he's been doing his videos for 8 years. But he feels like people get in a rut, and he's just trying to broaden the audience. So for a video a day for free, that could be your IPA, and then hopefully get some pointers to help grow your business. So my last tip or best practice are the little things in business. So I've got a couple of visuals. So I have a friend who wanted me to try one of her products, and this is how she gave it to me. Like, it's just this bag, and like try this. And I still haven't heard from her to see if I've tried it. And I haven't tried it because I was saving it for my presentation. So then this is how I like to hand out my samples. If it's not like one of the samples from Plexus, but if it's a friend from school that wants to try, instead of just like reaching in my bag and handing them a sample to shake or the pink drink, it's something as simple as this. So bags at Target or Party City or Walmart, I mean, literally, I think this is 20 bags for $1.50, these little cellophane bags. And then I found a roll of ribbon at Michael's with a coupon, and it was like $4.99, and it's like 1 gazillion yards of this pink polka dot ribbon. So I've used it forever. But just this bag, and then just a tie, and then I have the shake in my business card. And even if you leave it on someone's front porch or you hand it, I mean, how fun just to, like, it looks fun, like something exciting. If I have people who I'm mailing samples to, especially people I don't know, I went on eBay and I found these pink padded envelopes. And it was like 50 envelopes for $4. I mean, it was ridiculous. But I mean, I still have a ton of these. But how fun to go to your mailbox, besides getting a handwritten note, but then getting the spun pink padded envelope. And it holds the pink drink samples in a business card, or a shake in a business card. But again, it's just simple, but I feel like when people get it, it gets their interest. It's some thought was put into it. And then I'm also always looking, and this is an example, like I found this off the clearance aisle at Target, but just fun note cards. And of course I go for these pink ones first, but then these are also helpful too, that I can just keep in the car, and just a simple note. But it's inexpensive. It's a business expense. But again, it's putting forth the effort that you're taking your business seriously, and you want your friends and possible business mates or coworkers or whatever to take you seriously too. So those are 5 of my best practices that I keep doing and hope to keep moving forward.
I think that is amazing. And I know our recording is a little bit off. So if you guys are watching it and it feels like it's a film back in the day where it's dubbed, I'm so sorry. I think it could be on my end. You know, y'all know I live kind of in the country, and so sometimes my CPU usage is high. But the information that Amy presented is absolutely incredibly valuable. And the things that I took away from it are just going that little extra step. It's a little extra step to follow up, but well worth it. You know, it's the things that we do that are easy to do, but slightly easier not to do, that make the difference in our business. And just like Amy showed you, you could send a sample in a plain old white envelope, but you took the time to go a little extra step. It wasn't that much more money than the white envelopes would cost, and it's getting noticed, and she has best practices in place that will take her far in life. I hope that you guys are able to glean some wisdom, because it sure was here, and that you can apply it to your business too, and that will get you one step closer to ranking to Ruby and beyond. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Amy, you're a superstar. I thank you.
Thank you.
For sharing your heart and sharing your practices. You did an amazing job.
Thank you.